Welcome to Movie and a Beer, everybody. This is Dan bringing us in, and we have some wonderful, cool friends hanging out with us to discuss a somewhat challenging and yet exploratory film about the future.
My name is Jason, and I'm the resident fill-in. I guess the best way to put it. But I will say that this movie was as consistent as Sean Connery's hairline.
I'm your Soundgarden music video expert, Blake. This movie looks like Black Hole Sun.
Hey everybody, this is Brian, and I'm your giant floating head expert.
Now you can launch into your thing. Now the intros are done.
Floating head. So we're talking about the movie Zardoz. It came out in 1974.
You guys watch Zardoz?
I was 2 years old, so I don't remember when it came out, but I did watch it later on when I was a teenager and was like, oh, wide-eyed and okay. This is a strange film. John Borman.
Okay.
It was rated R. It had a $1.57 million budget back in 1974. That was a lot.
What is that in today's money?
Big money. Well, let's look that up.
Our resident bank employee is not here today, so we don't know. Well, I saw from the trivia, Connery took a pretty massive pay cut because he wasn't getting work after the Bond movies.
So is this his first movie after the Bond movies?
Maybe. I didn't look up that much. I try not to use IMDb because I don't like Amazon. But he was only paid like $200,000.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it grossed 11.72. Or wait, no, hold on. Yeah, no, that's about $11 million today.
So $1.75 million to make at that point is 11.75 now.
Yeah.
Okay. That still
That
is
not a
that
crazy
much.
budget.
Yeah. That isn't much.
But yeah, this is
How much was Iron Man's budget?
brother, that's a big old number.
Yeah, right.
So this was a sci-fi experimental film starring Sean Connery called Zardoz,
Yes.
Which is
Wizard
of Oz.
to explain.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess we're spoiling it because this movie's ancient.
It's Wizard of Oz spelled backwards, isn't it?
No, it's just taking certain letters of it.
Yeah, they covered it up with their thumbs.
It's
like
Zard
Zardoz.
of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost Wizard of Oz, but they take it. The Zardoz, the god, right?
Yeah.
Is taken from the book Wizard of Oz, but like as you said, like it's not like a direct representation. They just use that book because of the letters.
It's similar to learning that the Craggle in the Lego movie is just crazy glue.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Lego movies, Lego Batman,
You've got to focus. You have to focus.
in general, the plot of this film, very, very simplified, is
There's a plot.
Post-apocalyptic world. There's a privileged class and a lower class of brutes, and the upper class people have learned how to live forever, and they've grown bored.
Yes.
So they get a brute from outside.
They have an exterminator. He's part of the exterminators who kill the brutes.
And they get the exterminator to come to their area where they live to end it all. Basically,
They want it to end because they're bored.
They're bored. They've lived forever.
It's a pretty good standard 70s and 60s like sci-fi trope of like perfect not neighborhood. I hate that I can't think of the word because I have a point here. Perfect civilization brings an outsider to shake things up,
like a utopia, essentially.
Yeah. They bring this guy to change the utopia. It all goes sideways for them, and then everything's left in ruins.
You know what it sort of reminds me of, and I know it's on because I'm simple-minded.
Same.
The Boys. When you look at this, you have the retirement community, and which you have in this film as well.
Yes.
Which I guess spoilers if you haven't seen the latest Boys as we filmed this, because I didn't know about their.
My apologies.
It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, so
the retired supers.
The retired supers, but you also have the people that are still wanting immortality. Right. And then you have that person, again, if you haven't watched The Boys or if you haven't watched it recently, there is spoilers, the Butcher, where he is essentially Sean Connery in this film, where he is there to shake everything up and essentially destroy
burn it all down.
But as I think everybody's saying, the patriarchy, right, is essentially destroying.
Well, it's interesting you said patriarchy.
The aristocracy, for sure.
The aristocracy in this film, mostly women.
But the leader and the person that was in charge of it with the felt shorts on his head was a male.
Yeah, but he volunteered to do it because no one else would.
but is still there. And then the guy that ruled over the monster was also a male.
Yes.
You guy looks like Eric Idle.
So this is one of those films where they didn't actually drink a lot of anything. There was a couple of food scenes.
I forgot.
But
We always try to reference the beer.
We did have a couple of beers during the viewing, and first up was a Great British Pale Ale from Away Days here in Portland, and the other was We Are All Made of Magic Hellas Lager from Cooper Mountain Ale Works. And we're going to talk about those two beers a little bit later on.
In like 5 minutes.
In about 5 minutes. This is probably going to be a quick episode because this is not a deep film. It is not challenging to watch. It is
challenging to watch.
Yeah, I would say
it's
very
fun to watch.
It feels like, and I said this a couple times.
You don't have to have a story.
It feels like the film students got to make a movie with a budget, which is not an insult to student film or this movie. It's a lot of like conceptual ideas thrown together, not always connected. At one point, one of us, at least once or twice, went, what is happening? As the next scene proceeds, we're like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
They explain some things later, but a lot of it was kind of disconnected.
It's Fast Five with some art.
And there were some really, really interesting scenes that went on
way too long
for 3 times longer than it should have.
Go ahead.
If they cut him like by 2 minutes, it would have been phenomenal.
I know one scene that you guys were talking about was the one essentially with
the mirrors.
The mirrors. Well, in the movie, mirrors, but in reality, there are TV screens. But yes, I was going to say TV screens. Yeah, but yeah, the mirrors. And I will say that there were some parts in it. Like I agree, it should have been cut down dramatically, or excuse me, drastically. But
you're talking about it.
We're talking about it, and the other thing is there is some really good what is it? There's some really good
cinematography
and visuals in that. Like there was like
practical effect.
I can't argue with that.
Like where like it spans like the infinity on the right side, and you see like there's this visual effects that were really good at that point, and so like. As much as I agree with everyone that like it should have been cut down drastically, man, it was a really good scene in that movie. It was one of the better scenes for me.
It perfectly shows what it would be like to get sucked into a crystal. Like that part's accurate.
Yeah.
Like, this is good filmmaking. This is good like framing.
Really interesting filmmaking.
Yeah, Brian, would this be like there wouldn't be anything beyond just like setting up the screens and the angles and everything. Like there's nothing really fancy camera work wise.
The lighting was tricky because you don't need spotlights in the mirror reflections, and so it's a lot of like side lighting.
You've got to figure out where to put the camera so it doesn't get reflected in all the mirrored surfaces.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm like, I bet these shots took a while to set up because it's like there's a lot of mirrors.
Especially
there's a
since
number
the writer, producer, director was on drugs.
Yeah,
Speaking of lighting,
yes.
As Brian, was it you or Blake? Excalibur. Who brought that up?
You said
Excalibur.
No, Excalibur.
So John Borman directed this. He also directed Excalibur, Hope and Glory,
Deliverance.
And Excalibur, who was in that one?
Probably King Arthur.
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, the point is like the lighting is very similar in a lot of movies around that time. Whenever they do sci-fi or sci-fi or like fantasy, they have this weird lighting within it, and it's just littered throughout all of it, where it's like this ethereal,
kind of very soft,
soft, and they're trying to make it ethereal. I think like lighting in it,
like
but it's so 80s. It's so 80s, like
which is really funny because this is in the 70s.
It's so 70s. So they're like, it's so 70s.
Well, I glanced at some of the
when was it? When was it?
74.
74. Damn, that was early 70s too. Like, because a lot of the 80s films, like what's the one with Tom Cruise?
Legend.
We
did that for the podcast.
Yeah, is it the same lighting in it?
It's a little clearer from what I remember. Well, it has like the weird moments of,
but it has that weird like glowy sort of lighting.
A lot of 80s movies did that for a while. They were like soap opera-y,
soft.
Yeah, I had a joke I was going to make it Jason Expense and then tell Jan to cut it out, but I can't remember what it is now.
but very soft, like me, soft lighting. You caught that one out.
Not like
it hides the wrinkles.
This movie, I'm glad I watched it.
I agree.
I'm baffled by it, but I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
It was real strange.
There's a lot of scenes that don't quite connect,
and then there's other scenes where we're like, "This is really, really good."
Like this is what I was going to get at the beginning when Blake, you were like, all right, yeah, this is the introduction. So back to this, because you sort of brought back this point, this is one of those movies that you want to, if your friends haven't seen it and enjoy films, this is one of the ones you want to put in your pocket. Like for me, it's like Rubber, for example. It's another one that it's a good movie. Is it the best movie out there? No, but the artistry behind it.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do, like this is what you put in your back pocket and you say, hey, you guys want to watch a weird movie, but like strangely good. Like this is the type of movie that you have. And I totally will put that behind it. I will definitely bring other people, like a lot of my friends outside of y'all three, that I would love
jealous
to sit down and be like, all right, let's watch this movie. It's that good. It's worth a watch, and it's worth a second watch if you're watching it with other people.
I'm gonna curse people with this movie the way Dan cursed us with it, and I'm grateful to you for that. Thank you. Thank you.
It's part of the pop culture lexicon. You have to have seen this to be well versed in cinema history.
Yeah. Okay, and this is coming from Brian.
Community makes a joke about the Zardoz outfit, his bandolier with briefs, like red briefs and knee-high boots.
They're like bikini briefs, and then they're like big knee-high boots.
Yeah. This is Badlands Superman
with incredible ponytail and gorgeous mustache.
Was that his actual hair though?
I mean, probably not, since the hairline kept changing. Jason pointed out.
Dude, if it was during the whole scene that we were talking about, like with the crystal scene, there's at one point where half his head was bald. Like I didn't understand it. Like it didn't make any sense to me.
Well, one point the cell phone, early cell phone / ring, the pinky ring.
Okay,
the pinky ring.
Because I kept thinking, it's a cell phone. They're asking Siri for stuff.
Basically,
Dick Tracy's cell phone.
When they showed it, when they had him shine on his forehead, I just, without meaning to, my soul said, oh, that guy's got a 5 head. Because it's a lot of space, a lot of real estate in the old head.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, and you know, we're looking in the year of 2026, and we have Meta glasses, but we're looking in 1974, and they had Meta rings, bro.
I know they're a step ahead of us.
They had mean brunettes.
I'm just saying,
they had mean brunettes. I want to get to know.
They had Meta rings.
Should we cover the music? Because there wasn't a lot.
It was not a lot.
It opened with a lot of synth. It opened with some
But-
pretty sick synth.
I mean, we should talk about the visual effects some.
Yeah.
Because they used a lot of projection with the ring.
Exactly.
Projected information on his forehead, on the walls.
Just around and really, he's like, what is this kind of way?
The TV screens in the crystal room, again, is a series of projections. So,
yeah.
like, again.
And a lot of reflective imagery on mirrors
And a lot of people zooming by as they were giving him information using touch.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
They projected onto people.
The touch teaching, what they call it?
Yeah, something like
touch
that.
teaching, but
We will
all
give you
of
our
that was
knowledge.
imparted
AKA
with projection.
Yeah, we will give you our knowledge, and we will take your seed. That's what the agreement was.
What? I don't remember the seed part.
Oh, the seed was all
I forgot.
throughout.
Yeah.
When they're sitting there showing a flaccid
Yeah,
versus
penis. You can say penis.
a flaccid penis versus
An erect penis.
erect penis, and then talking about seed, like it just
Well, part of the one thing Dan told me
It's
about
like-
this movie before he watched it was that the immortals are bored and don't know how to have sex.
they can't. They don't have.
Yeah,
they just get recreated by the machine.
That's why they're so interested in Sean Connery's
Yeah,
penis.
they want
It's
to
like,
watch.
look at this.
There's a
They've
whole.
got ED.
There's
I
like
heard
a
it was
whole-
I heard it was a 007 inches.
There's about there's about a 10-minute scene in the film that actually, like, they're explaining to him. It's like we've gotten to the point where we don't have to procreate, so we're bored. We don't.
We forgot how.
Yeah, basically.
And I kind of appreciated the weird semi-scientific fantasy society they had, where like, we're very scientific, but we're not good at it, but we're very scientific, and we're going to lay you down in this weird prone position where your waist is kind of up, and we're going to have look through your memories, which was kind of cool.
How many times were people in blade bags? Okay,
a number of
I'm
times.
just saying that. Like there was like a lot in blade bags. There totally were. Like even towards the end where they were like behind like mirrors or like behind glass, they were in blade bags. It was the weirdest thing. I don't understand it. Were they like harvesting anything off of them, or were they birthing them? Like,
Well, they
I
have
don't
a thing
understand.
towards the end where the apathetics like touch his tongue, and that like shakes them out of their apathy, and then they keep touching tongues, and then it becomes an orgy.
I guess.
What does it have to do with the blast?
I have
know.
no idea.
You're trying to I'm not.
I wish I had.
I'm not
idea.
arguing with you. I'm more like, what are the plastic bags about? Now that I think about it, it was like a revelation that I just
John
had.
Borman when he was blasted on drugs.
So there was a scene that where they thought it was impenetrable, and he punched through it.
And that was a metaphor for their protective bubble, right?
Correct. He broke through their ability. They were then become mortal. They weren't immortal anymore.
So it was the opposite
they perhaps
of beauty.
had emotion then as well.
Yeah.
So it was opposite of beauty then.
Yeah.
Where they break out of their like it's almost like a cocoon.
Yeah, kind of. So there was a guy.
Film Cocoon.
There's a.
We should watch that.
Once he starts, he gets to the. What do they call it? The vortex.
Oh yeah.
And there's multiple vortexes. So multiple.
They do say vortex a lot.
He gets there, and once he's captured,
Zardoz,
they have a few scenes where there's a vote that happens, and they have to vote on everything because it's a democratic society, and everyone has to vote.
Oh
on
yeah,
everything.
a friend like laments it. Like, we talk about everything. All the
we
time.
have to vote and vote and vote, and then there's a scene where someone had emotion, and he said, "Well, it leaked out of me through the third resurrection that I had because of the injury on my head."
Through a seed.
Yeah, I don't know. But so he said, it's like, I feel this. And he was being egged on by some of the people in the room with the monster, as he was called.
Yeah, that was unsettling how they like shamed him.
Yeah.
Like they psychic shamed him and just give him, he's like, no. And that's another scene that could have been cut like 2 to 3 minutes.
Why did that take 5 minutes?
Right.
Now, I'll tell you something else. Speaking of that, we're talking about being ashamed and stuff. How they brought in Sean Connery's character. They treated him very much like a
lab rat.
No, not a lab rat. What? A savage.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Very much like a savage.
Very hairy man. Very
well. It's
brawny.
It made me wonder, like that first part of the movie. Like there was some eye opening. Well, we're in 2026. If you haven't been eye opened at this point, then there's another issue. But like how it was sort of showing, like how a different race, different species, had come in and treated by somebody that's different, like, right? And like how they treated him at the beginning, like very much, they called him monster. They whipped him maybe once, it was kind of hot. And then you had another part where they're just talking down to him the whole time, and they are like a lab rat at one. He is.
They legit
sort of like
put him on an examination table.
And what was crazy about the examination table, I promise I won't talk more than I usually do, which I will anyways. But I'm sorry, Blake. You guys bring up, Blake and Brian, the examination table, and I had brought up the point where like how he was laying. So he's laying on his back, but then his head is backwards. It's so
he was very vulnerable.
So vulnerable during that whole point, and
his arms were up.
Was that?
He's wearing a Superman bottom,
basically. So does that reflect in the fact that when they see his memories and stuff, like as he said, and he even says, "I've raped, I've killed. That's my job for Zardoz is to kill,
to be an executioner."
He was a savage in that sense. Like that's
his whole job was to kill the what do they call them? The braggles, something.
The brutes.
The brutes. His whole job was to kill brutes to keep them
because they breed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at
Muggles.
The very first scene, they say
different
guns are good, penis is bad.
Yes, they literally say that.
That creates population.
And then Zardoz barfs up a bunch of rifles and shells.
Okay, now when
that was the best shot of the movie.
When Zardoz is sitting there and his big ass head sitting down there and throwing up guns and speaking the truth of the penis, like throughout all that, I didn't see a damn woman among any of them.
Oh, there were some that were brought in.
No, you're just making that up. You're just making that. There was
later on, not in that scene,
but not in that scene. When Zardoz is preaching the good word, there is no women around, and he's saying no penis. He's telling everybody with penis eye
phalluses
that there's no penis eye. And so it's just it was funny to me. Now I understand what we're going with it, but he was telling the wrong people.
This is why I like that Stuart Wellington of the Flophouse podcast, for his review of this, just wrote, "Penis bad, rip it off."
Pretty much.
He's also an advocate that in Castle Freak, a guy rips his own ding dong off, even though he's been proven wrong over and over. It's pretty funny. Anyway, Zardoz is weird, huh?
Well, it's a made-up god. It's the Wizard of Oz. I mean, I think he framed it like that. We are behind the curtain.
He's hiding behind a big weird head that yells all the time.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of where all the comparisons end. There's no Cowardly Lion. There's no Tin Man. There's a lot of boobs and very interesting fashion choices.
Yeah, so appropriate for your teenage.
I think there was a Dorothy.
Yeah, like kids watch it.
There was a Dorothy.
No.
There's a lot of Dorothy.
Sean Connery is Dorothy.
There's a lot of guys Dorothy's
and
in
if
there.
you don't believe me, he is wearing
this isn't a damsel thing. I think you're wrong.
Yeah, and stockings at one point.
But who is Toto?
And also,
there's no dog.
His
and
ponytail.
also wears a wedding dress at one point. He is Dorothy.
He does.
That was a choice.
They put him in.
Trying to take a
they
picture
were trying to protect his identity as he runs around and releases them from their immortality.
True. I might have to watch this again.
You missed a bunch because you were just yelling at the screen.
I wasn't yelling. I was speaking loudly. Jason was yelling.
Yeah, I was yelling.
Yeah,
Jason's default volume.
All right, let's sum this up and get to the beer.
Yes.
All right, going around the table, who recommends this film?
Well, I'm the one who recommended it for us, so I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it has some information and some, I don't know, I would say the story, while it is weird and not, there's no continuity in some of it. There's like suddenly jumps to some other scene and you're like, well, especially at the end, it's like they grow old really fast, or maybe they don't. I don't know. There's it's an interesting moment in time in sci-fi movie history, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, Brian, what is your?
I would recommend watching it. Don't expect a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's interesting. It's more of an experimental film.
I'd say I would recommend it. I'd say it's better than Lawrence of Arabia, and you can fight me on that. No, just go in just don't expect like high art. Go in with an open mind. Go in with an open mind and an appreciation for boobs and/or Sean Connery.
Yes.
Jason, last word.
Yes or no?
He's doing a bit where he's being really quiet on the podcast, which is great for an audio medium.
Yes.
Did you just say you want to fight the fact that it's better than Lawrence or Arabia?
You've never seen Lawrence or Arabia.
You haven't.
Actually, I have. I've actually seen that. Yeah, totally.
Like 4 hours long.
It's ridiculous.
It's a big
but
movie.
John Williams did the music for it. So I'm a big one. I actually appreciate the music, but the fact that Peter O'Toole's playing. Okay. Anyways, all right. We're not talking about that movie. So as far as this movie is concerned, do I recommend it? Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with everyone here that I definitely recommend this movie, especially if you're somebody who likes film in general and has a large spectrum as far as your genre is concerned. Yeah. If you are kind of narrow, which is okay, I don't recommend this film because I don't think you would appreciate it, and that's okay. But if you're somebody that gets down with rubber, somebody that gets down with movies like Not Another Teen Movie, or even a movie like all the greats. The point is like if you have a wide spectrum, I think this would be a great movie for you, and you'd really appreciate it.
It's good background at a bar. Okay, so I think we all think this is worth a watch. Do it with friends so you can all yell at the screen because there's some crazy stuff.
It'll be a lot more fun to look at your friend and be like, "What just happened?"
Yeah,
it's slow moving.
It is very slow in a lot of parts.
It's a 70s movie.
You can MST3K the crap out of it like we did, and it wasn't bad. I had to yell a little bit. I was like, guys, I want to hear at least
for
a little
once.
of the
Dan
dialogue.
had to tell us to stop talking.
I was like, I want to hear a little of what they're saying because there are some interesting things that get said.
Really? Like what?
I don't know. We already mentioned it earlier. We will share our knowledge by touching, and you will give us your seed.
And all the things Zardoz says before and after he gets shot.
Yes. I thought it was interesting. The setting, they used a lot of London.
It was all filmed in Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland
was
but there's
not
a lot
used
of
in London.
No, but the scenes in the buildings and stuff had like London-esque.
Oh yeah.
But they were in Ireland.
I know, right?
They were on a soundstage.
But it was them
in Ireland.
But it was them reflecting what the future would be in the 70s, which I love when films
in Ireland
like push. Yeah, Jason. I love that they say, "Well, here's what's going to look like in the future," but it looks like the past because we we can't make it look like how we want to right now.
Yeah, they don't have the budget or the special effect
Technology.
abilities. I mean, you know, there are some films that came out in the 70s that were pretty damn good with their special effects, but this was not one of them.
Well,
I mean, there's a lot of bubble shots and
that
a lot
floating
of
head
mirror
was
shots.
pretty impressive.
I mean, the floating head, but still, I'm like, come on.
Speaking of head, there's head on these beers that we had.
There are.
real quick, I will say,
No one
That's not where I thought you were going.
No one respects my segues, and that's fine.
I will say right now that out of the 6 podcasts I've done, I've now ruined 2 of Blake's segues.
Everyone does. No one respects my segues, and it's fine.
I know.
All I was saying was, Dan, what was the last thing you said there after all that?
Special effects were really limited. In the
I
budget.
think the special effects were actually really good for the time. I think that the problem was that they lasted too long.
Yeah, they pushed some scenes way longer than they needed to. And so one of the things I didn't mention is, so there is came out a number of years ago, a director's cut that has deleted scenes. And this is the one that we watched that version. We didn't watch the theatrical release, which is much shorter and is way more poignant and to the point and just has like sex scenes and violence.
Sex scenes and violence. That's what we're all about.
What else do you need for a movie? Really?
Well, in Hollywood, not much.
Yeah.
A little bit of a story and some weird floating head that wants to spit guns and ammo at you, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so I think that there's a lot of interesting things to be said about this movie.
Holy crap, there's a lot of head on that beer.
And we'll get into some of those after we've chatted about the beers for a minute. So here's the moment on the podcast that we're going to switch over and chat briefly about the 2 alcoholic beverages that we enjoyed during the viewing of this film. And as mentioned at the beginning, these were 2 beers that are locally produced. One is from Away Days and one is from Cooper Mountain Ale Works. These were picked up recently at Cerveza, and I think both of them went with the movie. One was probably a little bit more tasty than the other, but the first one we did was the Great British Pale Ale, and I picked that one out because it's a British film. It's got Scottish and British, it's primarily like
Irish.
It's got a lot of accent.
It has a lot of accents, but it does come off as very British.
Yeah. So this is Away Days Brewing, which is here in Portland, 4.5%. Kind of bready maltiness paired with a little bit of subtle citrus and floral. Bitterness is front to back, but not overpowering. Grapefruit and orange blossom on the back that dries out pretty nicely. Overall, I think this is a really okay beer. I wouldn't necessarily say go out of my way to find it, but for what we were watching, it didn't disturb the movie. Thoughts on the beer?
Of the 2 beers, this was my least favorite. It was a little bitter for me.
Okay.
But I'm not a hophead.
Coward.
Indeed. How about you?
I did like it. I think I matched the movie okay. I wasn't distracted. I was enjoying it. I didn't crush as fast as usual, which I was surprised by when Dan came out with the second beer. It's like, oh, come on, I still have beer left.
Yeah. I drank mine pretty quick because I was thirsty.
How'd you like yours?
I'm done.
So British pale ales tend to use British style hops, and those British style hops are going to be not necessarily citrus and not necessarily as grapefruity as this was. So I was kind of concerned about that when I read that, and I was like, oh, grapefruit and blah, they can be floral, but the British style hops are typically going to be a little bit easier on the palate and more akin to more like a tea flavor or earthy or dry leafy and not the citrus or floral. The malt's there. The malt has the character of a British beer, but the hops I think were a little bit off. And that was my take on it. Drinkable, definitely. If it's available, get it. But there's a lot of other beers out there right now that probably will shine a little bit better than this one, but it's not a bad beer.
You don't necessarily have to watch Zardoz while drinking this.
Correct. It's pretty clean, standard beer.
But it didn't conflict with the film at all.
No, not at all. I mean, it's just, like I said, pretty middle of the road, more of an American West Coast style pale ale than a British style from a hop perspective and flavor profile.
I'm excited about the second one.
We will move on to the second one. And then this is We Are All Made of Magic. And I bought this from the name, and the can art's really kind of cool. Kind of really not abstract, but
And there's a
painted,
big head on
a
the
big head floating on the can.
Jesus, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh, there's a big head on the can. Whereas the other one is just like blue and white checkered. So We're All Made of Magic is a Helles that is 5% alcohol, 18 IBU. So a Helles lager that is made here locally in Portland.
Tigard.
Actually, it's in Tigard, so it's in the Portland metro area by Copper Mountain Ale Works. I've been there a few times. It's a cool place to go check out. They have a lot of live shows and music. This was, I think, a little bit more malt forward and malt centric. Didn't have very much offensive kind of characteristics that the other one had as far as the hop and the bitterness level. It was a little bit more sweet. 4.8%, 16 IBU, just like kind of a traditional Munich style beer. So, gentlemen, thoughts on this one?
I enjoyed this more of the two. I would say it had a little more fruity flavor, even though that's not really a beer term, I don't think. But it was a little sweeter, and that's probably the malt.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
It did feel softer. It kind of matched the... It helped that we had this when the movie got real weird.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about trying to sync up the beer with the right part of the movie. And this, I feel like we did the right order. Dropped into a weird world where dudes in masks are shooting dudes.
Yeah.
For the first one. And then when it gets all weird and they're touch teaching and a lot of scarves.
And the floating Zardoz head comes down and crashes, and then there's fighting.
Freaking crash.
Yeah, it comes down, it gets crashed. So, yeah.
Jason, do you like the second one as much as the first, or do you have a preference?
It was magic.
It was magic. It's all magic.
I think it means he likes it better.
Yeah. All right. So, any other thoughts on the movie? I again, it's a challenge a little bit. It's a little convoluted in some scenes. Shit gets stretched out way more than you'd expect or want. But it's still an interesting moment in time for filmmaking and sci-fi film in general from that period of time.
I think the fact that we all recommend to watch it is a pretty good sign.
Yeah. And I will say, for a real student of film, maybe it's better to watch this by yourself so you can kind of ponder and reflect on it a little more. I think maybe watching with friends, you're all talking and
you might miss something.
Playing ideas off of each other. Whereas if this film may go really deep and we just missed it.
Yeah. And like I said, this is if you can get the director's cut that has the deleted scenes and stuff, which adds more context to the storyline. And that's why I think it was a little bit more complex, and at least from my perspective, because I've seen the original film that was released in the public, and it's a lot shorter, and it's just more violent.
Oh, we watched the director's cut.
Yeah, this was the extended, got all the deleted scenes added to it.
Well, now we have to watch the original so we can compare.
Yeah.
Come back next week, listeners, for when we watch the original cut.
Zardoz 2.
Electric Boogaloo. We're going to drink the same beers, make the exact same jokes.
No.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I could sit through that, but, if I was putting it on in the background or at a bar and watching it, that might be okay. But I'd be like, I've seen
a solid
this.
bar movie.
I've seen this because it's just chaotic and weird.
It is chaotic and weird, and the cuts were very interesting. Where they're in a courtyard and then they're in this crystal,
like
or dungeon,
jump, the one jump from
at the end,
but where it went night all of a sudden.
Yeah, day to night. That's unfounded. I don't know why. I still don't know why.
It was shocking. Yeah. Maybe it was meant to just wake you up.
It's sci-fi.
Oh, well, that answers it.
So we've done a number of films recently about AI and computers, and this has a computer-esque sort of presence that's in a crystal that they rely on to keep them alive eternally, and that's what they're called. That's why they're called Eternals. So this crystal that they have, I mean, there's a lot of discussion and talk in the scientific community and people who study memory and what you can do with electronics and crystal, actually using a physical medium to store things into, using light and lasers is a real thing. And it was a real thing back then. They just haven't figured out how to do it yet. So this kind of, if you say, well, why did he write about that? That's something that actually has been around. They just haven't figured out how to master it because we can't control it at a molecular level like I'm assuming they are in the film. Because when they examine his memories and then actually look at him on the table, so to speak, and they've got the weird super zoomed in.
They're looking at all of him when he's on the table.
Interesting stuff on this.
Hey, he's Sean Connery. Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
me.
There you go. It just seems like interesting that, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, it's not that far off, but it's kind of vague. That I think they're purposely making it vague.
I like that the memory viewing was sporadic and weird because that's how memories actually work, and they're not very reliable.
Definitely.
So that's cool.
Just like the direction of this movie.
Yeah, weird.
It's not reliable at
A
all.
little bit unreliable. All right. Well, as always, we want to thank you all for hanging out and listening to us banter about this interesting sci-fi film called Zardoz. All the opinions expressed during the taping of this recording, those are the hosts. And
Let's see if I can nail a Zardoz voice. If you do not hydrate, you will dihydrate. And then just the sound of me barfing guns and shells. Bang, 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 bang.
yeah, that's literally what it was. It's just
Kill the penis.
Rip off the penis, drink the water.
Penis my too.
And ain't no bum cover.
all right, well,
Ape tit.
Okay. Now we're just quoting SNL, which I'm fine with.
all right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's not my name.
We're in that huge cowboy.
This is Brian signing off.
Oh, sorry. This is Blake signing off. I thought you were already signed off. My bad.
It's Turd Ferguson.
It's actually Jason.
All
Sorry,
right.
we tricked you, listeners. Sorry.
Tricked you. Sorry. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.